The issue for a long time now. We're talking about e-tolls. Of course, the AA is hoping that the Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana going to announce that government is going to get rid of e-tolls in Gauteng. This as he is delivering his medium-term budget policy statement in Parliament tomorrow. Layton Beard with us this morning from the AA, their spokesperson. Hello to you, Layton. Nothing like almost a decade of hindsight to possibly provide some clarity. Do you think tomorrow could be the day?
Yeah, look, I mean, we met the Minister of Transport in 2019, Gareth, and, after that meeting, and he had meetings in the day, on the day that we met him, certainly with other civil society organizations, and had assured us all that he would give us clarity in the following February, which was February 2020. And since then, deadlines have come and gone. We've heard it would be 6 months after that. Obviously COVID happened, and then we were told it would happen 2 months after that, and 2021 came around and nothing happened. But earlier this year, the Minister of Transport obviously indicated that the Minister of Finance, when he delivers his medium-term budget policy statement tomorrow, would give us clarity on the way forward. So that's what we're holding on to, and we're hoping that certainly when the Minister of Finance speaks tomorrow in Parliament, we do get some clarity and we do get a way forward, because we think not only is it necessary for the motoring public in Gauteng to know that, but for government's sake, it's important to show that they've considered this and they've developed a way forward.
It does, and when we need to bring into the conversation the Finance Minister and move it away from the Transport Minister, obviously we expect there's some kind of money involved here. Let's imagine for a moment it was completely scrapped tomorrow. Layton, it's not going to be as easy as just turn off the purple lights and take the scaffolding down. There's money that is owed to lenders, and I imagine that's going to become the next issue for the Finance Minister. This hasn't been free up to now, has it?
No, it hasn't. And I mean, just on the issue of the scaffolding, we would suggest not to do that. We would suggest to keep that up. And there are, various applications that those things could be used for. So we wouldn't tear them down. Look, Gareth, our point all along has been that there is money available for e-tolls and for the Gauteng Freeway Improvement Project through other revenue streams. We are of the view that government has the money. It's just a question of how that money is being allocated currently, and it needs to be reallocated properly to deal with items such as the GFIP and e-tolls. So we are not saying that we don't understand that there is money. We understand that there is money available through other revenue sources. The Minister of Transport would have us believe that there isn't money available, and without e-tolls, the entire system is going to crumble and there'd be no money for maintenance. Well, we hold a completely different view. We think that at the moment, the problem that we've got, Gareth, at the moment, citizens are being taxed on every litre of fuel that they drive. They're being taxed through VAT. They're paying personal income tax. So all the way in that value chain, people are being taxed and they're paying money to a system that really should cater for their needs. Now they've been asked to pay extra. And for us, that's an unfair situation. And especially given the fact that you certainly have money available specifically in the Gauteng budget for items such as e-tolls. And we think that that's where the money should come from.
So when we now look over the last almost a decade, Layton, a lot of people, well, some people have been paying their e-tolls. Many businesses used to get rebate as a result of it and being compliant, etc. What happens to all the money that those people have paid? Because I can imagine many of them are going to get upset and go, hang on a second, I've ploughed all the money in, I've been a diligent citizen, and now it all comes to naught in the end. How do we make them feel better?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very pointed question. I think the AA is asking for three things. The first thing is we want the system to be scrapped entirely. The second thing is we want any outstanding debt to obviously be written off. And the third touches on your question, Gareth, and that is any monies that have already been paid over need to be reimbursed to the people who paid them. So we're basically saying people need to be given back their money. We know that a government is going to balk at that idea, and they probably are not going to do it. But it's very important for us to raise that on behalf of those people who did pay. In our view, that money does need to go back to the public. This was a system that was not sanctioned by the motoring public in Gauteng, and they're having to pay for it. And we think that's a wholly unfair and unjust system.
Just as a last question to you then, Layton, the expectation is, the hope certainly for many Gauteng drivers is that the e-tolls are going to be scrapped. Let's imagine for a moment that you and I are talking on Thursday morning. It hasn't been scrapped. In fact, there was no mention of it. What then? Because your point earlier was this will show that government listens to the public. Would that be a slap in the face of the public if it weren't to happen? How insulting would that be?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be. I think it's another promise that's been made for clarity on an issue, and it's not going to be delivered on. So I think from our point of view, it would certainly be, very unfair on the public of Gauteng not to give any way forward on it. So that is concerning. If we wake up on Thursday morning and the system is going to be retained, I think government can expect that the same compliance rate of under 20% that currently is in existence on the e-tolls may stay or even get worse going forward. People have taken a principled stance against e-tolls, Gareth. They don't want to pay because they don't feel that they should be paying, because they feel they're already paying through other taxes. So people are not going to automatically start paying the e-tolls. And that system is going to slowly wither away, because the compliance rates are just going to get less and less and less. And that is a concern. And we would like to see government saying, we are listening to the people of Gauteng. We hear what your concerns are. We are going to scrap that system, and we're going to find alternative funding going forward. For us, that's the only logical and fair way to take this thing into the future.
No, absolutely. Maybe leave the scaffolding. I would agree with you, because Christmas is coming up. We need a place to put our Christmas decorations in December as well. Layton Beard, I appreciate the time from the AA spokesperson, Layton Beard. So do you think they're going to scrap e-tolls tomorrow? Do you think that's what we're going to hear from the Finance Minister? Of course, medium-term policy statement, mid-term budget, if you want, of course, going to be live here on eNCA tomorrow. There's a lot of things we're looking at for the Finance Minister to do, of course, public sector wage. What is the concern around the strike action in our country? What is happening with grey listing? What is happening with Eskom? And, of course, as Layton's been talking about, what is happening with e-tolls. So we all wait to hear what the Finance Minister has to say tomorrow. 26